Hey guys, welcome to the clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson. This is my cat Tack, and today's review is going to be on my top 10 list of worst movies, and starting with number 10, Jaws 4. This movie's horrible, and this list was very hard to do. I just want you to know, because there's a lot of bad movies, and usually if it's a bad movie, I probably won't watch it. And on this list, I'm not going to include any like made-for-TV movies like Sharknado and stuff like that, because I already know they're all bad. I've never even seen them, because I know how bad they are. But these are movies that I actually spent money and went to the theater and watched and was horribly disappointed. And that's what this list is going to be. So I did my best to try to make the best of the worst. So here we go. Jaws 4. Now, I remember this movie back when I was 15 years old. It came out in 1987. And it was the first movie that I went to the theater with my dad to see. And I remember looking over and seeing him asleep halfway through, which I could understand, you know, just he probably didn't want to see it anyway. He just took me because I was so excited to see it, because I love the Jaws movies. As you know, in my top 10 horror list, Jaws is my number one horror movie. It scared me to death, and the second one scared me to death. The second one's good too. You know, it's not as good as the first one, but it's still good. But the third one was kind of wonky, but, you know, 3D was just coming out at that time, you know, and you had teeth flying out at you, you know, so it was a fun movie at least. And when it first came out, you know, it didn't seem as bad as it does when you try to rewatch it now, you know, because of all the stuff we get to see nowadays. We're desensitized to what came before it, you know, and it's hard to appreciate what came before it. But I remember Jaws 3 when it came out, and it's a bad movie too, and it should be on this list, but it's not as bad as Jaws 4. But let me tell you, Jaws 4, I was so excited for this movie because it came back to the family. You know, it's like the family member of the original Jaws was coming for them. You know, it kills the kid in the first, you know, 10 minutes of the movie, the Brody kid, the small one. You know, it gets him, and then it follows the mother, you know, down to the, you know, down to Florida Keys or wherever they are. They're somewhere down south in the bright blue waters of the tropics, and I was excited when I first saw the trailers that it's, you know, it's hunting the family, which, you know, now when you think about it, it is ridiculous. You know, like, how would a shark know where people are? I mean, it's so stupid, and that's another reason why this movie is so bad, because just the premise alone is just dumb, you know. But I was happy to see the Brodies again, you know, and, you know, seeing the mother and seeing the son, you know, that kind of stuff in the movie isn't bad. I was happy to see the Brody family again. But the shark effects, horrible. I mean, the death of Jaws, you know, at the end of it was completely insane. You know, he jumps out of the water, and it's like you could totally tell it's an animatronic shark being lifted like this as the bow of the ship is coming forward and stabs it, you know, and kills them. This movie is just full of ridiculous stuff like that and bad effects, and they try to put more of the shark in there, you know, and it was the same shark that was in the first movie. You know, as bad as it was, they did less of them, because less is more, because of how it was and how it looked. And when it first came out, you know, this is 10 years later, you think they do better. You know, just think of what they did in the first one, you know, and that now look at the fourth one. And that's why this movie is one of the worst movies you could ever watch. And I do not recommend it to anyone, especially if you're a Jaws fan and you haven't seen this one. Don't watch it. Just keep the first two near and dear to your heart like I do. All right, so that's my number 10, Jaws 4. So what do you think, guys? Have you seen Jaws 4? Is it one of your worst movies? I'm sure it is if you've seen it. But anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think of the movie. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And always keep in mind to make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bye.